Welcome back. This is Kirsten from JK Fiber Arts doing my little TDF 2023 wrap up. Let's see, I have, this is what I've completed during my TDF, and we'll just do a little quick review here. This is a beautiful pulled silk sari tweedy sock blend. I got this from Camesh Fiber Arts, and full disclosure, I didn't spin all three of these singles. This is a fingering weight yarn, and I did a 3-ply. These were, two of the singles were on my bobbin for about 3 years. It was actually an experiment because I wasn't sure if it would turn out because of the disparity in the relaxation, but I figured, you know, it can only relax a certain amount on the bobbin. I figured it's not, I've heard people say that you can't leave it on the bobbin too long or it'll lose all of its twist. Well, it did not lose all of its twist. I will say it's not as springy of a yarn as I typically spin. My final single I spun during the first day of TDF, and I plied this during TDF. You know, it just doesn't have the same. When I do a 3-ply, I like to have a little bit of elasticity for my yarn, and this just doesn't have much at all. But I think it's gonna knit up fine. I'll let you know because I'm gonna make some socks out of this. So that was the very first thing that I did. And this was a merino top and a pulled silk sari in the colorway Sunflowers from Camesh Fiber Arts. The second challenge, this was probably one of my favorites, was the thick, spin a thick single and ply it with a thin single. And this is gorgeous. It's so soft and fluffy. My thick single is 18 micron merino, which is divinely soft. And it's 25% milk fiber, I believe, and also super soft. And I plied it with my thin single, which was tweed. It was a merino with viscose neps in it, and that's giving me a little bits of tweed here throughout. And that was what I was banking on when I was plying, because I was worried it was gonna look like a candy cane, but it did not. So this turned out exactly what I wanted, and I loved it so much that I bought a whole bunch more of the, I think it's called whipped cream. The white is called whipped cream, and I bought, I think I bought another 8 or maybe 12 ounces of it, because I had a lot of my thin single left over. So I'm going to make something big with this. The next thing that we did was this wonderful smooth bat. This had 23 micron merino with my alpaca that one of the nurse friends at work gifted me. And it is a really, really smooth, fluffy alpaca. And then there's also the yellow Arapiece silk in here too. And I love this one as well. It's really, really soft and wonderful. The next challenge, and this was super fun. It started off being a little annoying, but this was the spinning with locks. And the challenge was to flick a lock open and spin it. But I took it further and decided to do core spinning. I did a merino alpaca woolen prep blend, and these are my Leicester locks here. And I did a core spin with the locks and the merino alpaca, and then I 2-plied the single core spun that I did. And this turned out amazing, and I just kind of locked the locks in as I went along whenever I felt like it. And this is lovely. I wouldn't say that it's next to skin soft. It is, it's not bad though, but I don't think I would want it next to my neck or anything. I think I'll probably do something woven with it, and it would look really cool. The next, oh, this is the next challenge over here. This was the next challenge. These are the Cooperth locks. I loved this spin. This was the split the art bat from dark to light, and spin the single and chain ply, and that's what I did. And I love the colors in this one. I think I'm actually gonna make this bat again. It's really pretty. It's soft, and I would be able to wear this next to my skin, even though it is Cooperth locks, almost 100%. There's only a tiny bit of merino in this, so I really, really like it. Next up was, what was next? Let's see. Oh, this was the spin woolen and spin worsted, which I did not get around to showing you because I spun the, this was the worsted spin, which I don't think you guys even saw. One, I chose the wrong bat to worsted spin, and it was a bit of a struggle. I do love the color though. The base fiber on this one I did with a green merino alpaca. That was a woolen prep already, and then the rest of it was the Cooperth locks in here. And I did the woolen spin on a woolen prep, and this is the worsted spin on a woolen prep. And the difference between them, I spun these two so that they would match in weight of spinning here. And the difference is this yarn is a sturdier yarn, and it is a more compact yarn. And I really did love this. And this one was more blended, so it was an easier spin. I blended each individual lock color set before I put it into a blended bat. This one I didn't blend it as much, so you can see it has more of a rustic look to it. We were watching our friend's dog Nadine. She's a pointer dog, and we have a lot of critters around our yard. She is losing her mind. It has been quite the challenge. She barks at everything and nonstop. So hopefully I'll be able to get through this without too much interruption. So the difference here between the worsted and the woolen, the worsted gives you a firmer yarn, and this gives you a softer yarn, and it's just like a little fluffier and airier. I think it's difficult to appreciate with your eyes, but you can really feel the difference. This is a more easily compressible yarn. It's lighter, even though it's the same size as this worsted one, and they're both from woolen prep bats. So, and I like them both. And I think that I'm gonna probably weave with both of these as well. This one is definitely not next to skin soft. This one's not bad. I might be able to do something next to my skin with this, or make like some really nice, like a hat, I think maybe would be really cool, but we'll see. And now we're getting into, this is the other one of my favorites. This is probably my, this is either number 1 or number 2 on my favorite list here. This is the natural brown alpaca and the bleached tussa silk that I overdyed and spun, and it is divine. I love it. And this is about 6 ounces, and it is a sport weight yarn. And I am definitely going to knit something amazing with this. I've been looking at shawl patterns. I think I'm gonna go with a shawl. Something drapey, it's a nice soft angle of ply. Was around 20 on this, and I think that that's going to be fantastic. And then super fun spin. My sprint to the finish was this 6.4 ounce confetti bat, and this is also a woolen spin, and it is fantastical. This is a bulky weight, like a light bulky. This came in around a WPI 6, and this is going to be something wonderful. I'm not exactly sure yet. Hi, Nadine. Yes. The one nice thing about Nadine, hi, Nadine. Hi. Hello. Is that she is not a fiber eater. Yay. She's interested in all the animals and none of my fiber, which is fantastic. So let me just show you here the grand total. Here we have the final haul, and it is about 35 ounces. Not as much, I don't think, as I did last year, but I did my absolute best, and I also managed to video almost everything this year. So hopefully you guys had a very successful TDF. I feel like I did, and this was probably the coolest thing that I did was this art yarn here, because I had not done I've done core spinning, but I haven't plied two single core spun together before, and that really was, I think, the most thrilling thing for me out of all of this. This one was the most fun. I just was like laughing out loud the entire time. I was so tickled by all the colors and the way they intermingled. And I think really my top two, this is probably my number one. And this is my number two favorite. I'm definitely going to spin some more of this. So until I see y'all next time, spin happy.